Hi gang, Bill Greenberg with PhoneScholar.com. Today is Friday, June 25th, 2010, and here's a review of what's on the website today. I figured we'll stick with the iPhone 4 theme for today, and then next week hopefully there'll be some more stories about other stuff, but there's still so much stuff coming out, and of course with the issues that happened yesterday. Let's start off with this first one, Apple's statement on iPhone 4 reception flaw. We all know that they had a huge issue with receptions worldwide. I will throw one thing here that I won't mention anywhere else, is they were talking about the discoloration on the screens. A lot of people did say that they were fading after a few hours of use. So check that out. If it's still not there, if you're still getting the yellow splotches, make sure to call Apple right away to see if they can replace the phone or to give you an idea of what they can do with that. But I want to read the actual statement that Apple gave verbatim, and then I'll go over it a little bit. So here we go. Yes, I am going to be reading this. For those of you who say I read, I am going to be reading this. Here we go. And this is quote, "Gripping any phone will result in some attenuation of its antenna performance, with certain places being worse than others depending on the placement of the antennas. This is a fact of life for every wireless phone. If you ever experience this on your iPhone 4, avoid gripping it in the lower left corner in a way that covers both sides of the black strip in the metal band, or simply use one of the many available cases." Okay, and it goes even further than that. Steve Jobs, in one of his emails, actually told one of the people who he wrote to, just avoid holding it that way. Now, basically it's in the bottom left-hand corner, so if you're left-handed, I guess you're kind of out of luck. The cases that they're talking about is called a bumper case. Now there's going to be, just to let you know, there's going to be hundreds of cases available for this, just like every other phone, but the actual Apple iPhone 4 bumper case is $29, which a lot of people are not happy about the fact that they have to look like they have to go and spend this extra, and in fact there's been an outcry saying that Apple should provide these for free. Well, seeing that they've kind of estimated, the estimate is up to 1.5 million phones. I don't think they can give away 1.95 million cases, but I'm sure they can come up with some marketing scheme to make this look better for themselves. My whole thing is, why don't they just say, yep, you know what, we screwed up, and no big company ever does this, but I think it would just be great if they said, we screwed up, here's a situation, and here's the main reason why, is the fact that the iPhone 4 was never, or seems that, basically what they're saying, seemed to have been field tested with the antenna band. The prototype that they found, that Gizmodo found, and the whole stink that went over about it, had a case that made it look like a 3GS. It didn't have the antenna band, so that's the main reason why this was never found during testing. So I'll give it to Apple for that, because they did not know. But now they should say, you know what, yep, we found a problem. Here's a situation. It looks like it is strictly a hardware issue, like I said yesterday, so I don't know if there's going to be a software fix for that. It looks like if you have this problem, you're going to have to go out and get a case. That's my best recommendation, which everybody's recommending anyway because of the glass back. It's better protective. So there's that. So if you have any questions on that, you can always write to me or ask me at blogquestions@PhoneScholar.com. Okay, the next thing that I put on there, Apple works to keep up with crush of iPhone demand. And basically this is an article that has individual stories about a bunch of people around the country and some in Tokyo and around the world. And I thought it was very interesting to see the individual things about people fighting in line, and one person had to wait 11 hours. And I had a buddy who called me this morning who said he picked up the iPhone 4 yesterday. Now he pre-ordered it, still had to wait in line for 4 hours, which was, in my opinion, not the best way to do it. Got up there, and then he decided that he wanted to get one for his mother also, and they would not allow it. They said, you have one reserved, that's all we can give you. The funny thing was, they were allowing people who had not pre-ordered the phone or had a reservation for the phone, they were allowing them into the store to pick up phones right then and there, which is kind of the point that he was making is, okay, well, pretend like I'm buying it for her, I'm putting it in her name, or I'm buying it, adding it to mine, it's another thing, and I'd be just like one of these other people, but they would not allow it. And this is, again, after he waited in line for 4.5 hours to get a pre-ordered phone. So the system wasn't necessarily the best, but it looks like he got it. Just so you know, it took almost 3 hours for the phone to be completely activated, and as I said yesterday, you're going to continue going with this again. When you're trying to activate 1.5 million phones worldwide, there are going to be delays. So, but other than that, everything seems to be going very smooth. All the reviews are that the iPhone is as good as all the hype it was. So far so good. And then the last one I have on there is a worldwide iPhone 4 photos. And if you click on the photo that's on there, it'll take you to a slideshow of worldwide photos of Paris and Tokyo and some other places. So it's really cool. Take a look at that. Under categories, under Apple and iPhone, I did not want to put this in the main part of the thing. I do want to put it under categories for those who want to look, because it's very, very long, very technical. But there was someone that actually took apart the actual iPhone 4 and hardware expert explains iPhone 4 antenna problems. So there's an actual written out explanation of why this is happening. So go ahead and take a look at it. But like I said, the article is real long, so I didn't want to put it in the main body. It's under categories, under Apple and iPhone. And for those of you who, when I say it's under categories, I apologize, and I don't mean to make this too simplified, but on the right hand side of the web page, you'll see a thing that says categories, and this is where I stick the articles. So if you just want to look up iPhone, you can go just to iPhone and look up all the iPhone articles rather than having to go through every article that I put out there. So hopefully that'll help you out. Under the Sprint and Android categories, Sprint, HTC Hero, and Samsung Moment will not get Android 2.2. Those were both kind of on the fence, and they're saying now that they are not getting that. The Evo is already in the works, and Sprint setting that up for the 2.2 hopefully later next month. But the Moment and the Hero from Sprint will not be getting 2.2. Of course, who knows, maybe they'll change their mind in 4 months, but as of right now, that's not happening. And then so this is under the BlackBerry, because this is exclusive to the BlackBerry right now. Fox Mobile launches BitBop. And what this is, it's a streaming video service for $9.99 a month that allows on your BlackBerry Bold, BlackBerry Curve 8900, and the BlackBerry Tour 9630, and it is an exclusive with BlackBerry right now. They didn't mention anything about an iPhone app. You will able to get content from CBS, NBC, Fox, of course, A&E, Comedy Central, Discover, Fox, MTV, and USA. So if you have a BlackBerry and you want to get streaming video content from these people, now you have the opportunity for it for $10 a month. Anyway, everybody have an absolutely fantastic weekend. My wife and I are going to my wife is in a cooking contest this weekend, so hopefully she'll win that. Tomorrow we're being put up in a hotel in LA, and it's going to be really nice. So have a great weekend, and I will talk to you on Monday.